So you're considering moving to Florida. And of course, I'm sure that you've been out and looking all over the place on the internet and seen all these crazy things that people keep posting. You're wondering, do I need to move there? What's going on with everybody? What's real? Well, in this video, we're going to go over what to pay attention to and kind of dispel some of those myths. So don't believe everything you hear. We'll tell you what's real and what isn't. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Tim with the Whittemore Group with eXp Realty right here in Destin, Florida, right in Northwest Florida. If this is your first time to our channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about our area and the state of Florida, apparently. As a military veteran of 14 years and now a military spouse, I've moved so many places. And every time I moved somewhere, there was always some lack of information of where to move to and what to anticipate. That's why we created this channel for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're notified every single time we got a new video coming out. Now, honestly, we get tons of phone calls, emails, texts from people that want to know what it's like to eat, sleep, work, play here in our area, and we absolutely love it. So if you are moving here, got some questions, need some help, give us a call, text, email, heck, shoot us a little paper airplane. Whatever you got to do, we got your back when moving here to Northwest Florida or here in the Destin-Fort Beach area. So let's get into Florida. Let's get into the state of Florida. We're going to expand our boundaries off the panhandle and look across. So I went through and did some research just like you did and found 10 things that people said about Florida. And we're going to dispel some myths that are out there, what's real and what's not, and of course, the other questions that people ask me when they come here. So let's go. Number one, you're going to be eaten by alligators. No, it's not real. You have to be a complete idiot to be eaten by an alligator or go out there.
Hi, Herbert.
Now, there are certain places of Florida, normally towards the Everglades, where you're going to see a higher population of alligators and actually a whole lot more wildlife. That's going to be a little bit further down. As you go further northeast, you're going to see less and less of that as you go. And of course, if you come over here to the panhandle of Florida, here in Northwest Florida, it's very, very minor. Basically, just like anything, if you see a gator, just stay away from it. It can't move that fast. So stay away from it. Don't bug it. Don't get a stick and poke it, and you guys will probably be fine. All right. So you're not going to get eaten by gators. Number two, I love this one. Number two, there's way too many Yankees around here. All right. So I thought this was hilarious when they said that. Because there are a good amount of people that come from specifically New York that end up moving down to Central South Florida. I was actually in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, and I was having a conversation with somebody. They're like, "You Yankees, we like you, but we don't want you to stay. When you end up staying, we call you damn Yankees." And I'm like, what? But yeah, basically that's it. Now, I'll let you know that a lot of people that do come here are what I like to call transplants. I myself wasn't born and raised here in the state of Florida, but this is where I ended up eventually because it's pretty awesome for a certain amount of reasons, right? So there are a lot, but it's not just from the Northeast. We're seeing a good amount of people coming from California as well, and all over the states. Texas is a big one that's been moving out this way. So things are changing, but just know that there's going to be a diverse community depending upon where you go. And as you get into more popular destination and population centers, that you're going to see a bit more diversity as that goes. Number three, it's too hot. This one's true. It gets hot. It gets ridiculously hot. The thing about the heat is that it's not so much because you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, it's 80, 90 degrees. You're like, that should be pretty hot. It's the humidity that makes it so much worse as you go out there and you take about 5 steps and you're just like, oh, I'm drenched from all the freaking moisture in the air. Just know when the humidity comes out here, it makes the hot hotter, also makes the cold colder. Does it get cold? Well, if you come here to our neck of the woods in Northwest Florida, it can get pretty cold. It's Florida cold. For you guys in Minnesota, it's definitely not, or Wisconsin, this isn't cold, but it can get down sometimes to, I've seen it 20 degrees, but that's very rare. Our average temperatures is like mid 40s to mid 50s during our winter time, which is December to about March. But it does get hot. Just make sure that you prepare for it. It's not too bad. When I got down here, especially coming from New York, upstate New York, and when it got cold, just too cold, we would just run to the heat, from your car into the house or whatever. In the hot part of the summer, we do the same thing, except we run from AC to AC, right? So it just kind of flips when you look at that. All right, number 4. It's nothing but retirement communities and golf courses. Well, I'm going to say that that's kind of true in some areas, but they specifically built communities for 55 and up in certain parts of Central and South Florida. We don't see a whole lot in Northwest Florida, although there are a couple here and there, but it's not all like that at all. There are specific places, which is nice, that kind of builds that out if that's what you're looking for. And of course, there's always golf courses because, we get to golf year round. It's pretty awesome. The entire state, we get to golf year round. So yeah, they're going to be everywhere, but it's not just that. All right, number 5, it's too expensive. Well, that's going to be relative. If you're coming from New York City, coming from LA, or any place in California, it's going to seem pretty cheap. But let's kind of put it across the board. For the entire state of Florida, let's look at the cost of living index. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos for here, this is how the cost of living index goes. And you can, of course, look that up. You can go on areavibes.com to get the same information. So what they do is they take the cost of living where the average is 100%. And then they go above it and below just based on certain things like how much housing is, groceries, what have you. The entire state of Florida is sitting at a 102. So let's say that's 2% higher than the average in the United States. So really not that bad. When you think about Florida, you're like, no, that's got to be like 150. No, it's not that bad. Now, I know housing prices have been rising, but that's been a kind of across the country altogether. But not too bad. Number 6, there's nothing but tourists here. Well, I can contest that that's not true. I mean, I live here. No, there's a good amount of people that do live in the specific areas. You also have people that snowbird, who will have a second home somewhere, and then in the winter come down to Florida, and then when it finally gets tolerable back in the North Country, they'll go ahead and go back north and rent it out for the rest of the time, or just leave it vacant, or what have you. But there's a lot more to tourists, although the tourists and the locals make it very interesting driving around here. And it's kind of, I know that we have Daytona and there's the racetrack there, but there's no reason that we need to do that, on the highways throughout our state. All right, number 7. I don't want to be the Florida man. Now, if you've done any research on the Florida man, you can definitely see there. Now, the reason, if you haven't seen it, by the way, go check it out. There's always stories about something ridiculous that somebody did. I think the last one I saw was that somebody actually went into a murky pond to go get a frisbee and ended up getting eaten by a gator. Very, very rare that this happens. I have no idea. I think there was alcohol or drugs involved. But yeah, those are the Florida man stories. The reason you see so many things come from Florida is that anything that goes into an arrest is actually public record. So you can look up anybody or anything and it will get posted. It's like one of those things. So this website took that and just took the very cream of the crop, so to speak, of people doing stupid stuff and then just posted it up to the world. That's why we get a bad rap. Still hilarious, but that's why we got it. All right, number 8, there's too much traffic. Again, depends where you come from. Yeah, traffic sucks. This is also true. There's too much traffic for me personally. And it does get a little bit crazy, but just know as you get away from certain population centers, certain times of the year, it's not so bad. However, yeah, traffic's pretty terrible. That's true. All right, number 9, hurricanes are gonna blow my house away or blow me away. That's not necessarily true either. When you go into hurricane season, which starts usually from June 1st to November 30th, yeah, that's 6 months for half of the year, right? They have different storms and tracks that kind of come through here. Depending upon where you are in Florida, you may have a higher probability of a storm coming over the top of you or what have you. But just know that most of everything that's being built down here has to go up to code. Everything here has built into their home insurance hurricane deductibles. They also make sure that all builders put hurricane clips on top of in the rafters of the roof. Like, they do all these different things to kind of help you out. And honestly, as long as you have a plan, if a big enough storm rolls through here, because not all hurricanes you need to leave for, but if it's a big enough storm or you don't feel comfortable, just have a plan to be able to get out of there. Have a kit, make sure that you're good to go, and you'll be fine. But they're very rare that they'll blow through here. Last but not least, number 10, it's way too flat. Yes, this one's true as well. It is flat all throughout here. It's not completely flat. It's not like high plain desert sort of flat, but it is pretty flat out there. There are some places though that does have some elevation change, but it's not a whole lot. But you'll notice some of that as it goes around. But there's some hills, but you can pretty much see the tallest point by standing on your tippy toes and looking around. So yes, it is pretty flat, but it is what it is when you get here. All right, well, that's all I have for you for moving to Florida. And don't believe everything you hear, except for some things. Those were actually true. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned here, go ahead and leave them here in the comments below. If there's anything else you'd like to add, please keep it positive. Keep it here in the comments below. And of course, if you are moving here to my neck of the woods in Northwest Florida, actually anywhere in Florida, and you need a good realtor or you need some good advice, please give me a call, text, email, heck, shoot us that paper airplane, just like I told you. Find me on social media, whatever you got to do. We got your back moving here to our wonderful Sunshine State. But again, I'm Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with eXp Realty. We'll see you in our next video. Take care.